In the middle of a blizzard, a battle is about to commence. Hey, how's it going? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to another Divide Et Impera online battle. This was taken from the multiplayer head-to-head between me and Republic of Play. So if you don't know, we have now started a brand new one and they are literally some of the most enjoyable campaigns I have ever had on Total War. We previously did Rome vs Egypt and Macedon vs India, and this is a new one. We are in the early stages of the campaign itself, so we are fighting with lower tier units, but we're taking a very interesting approach to this one. We're both playing as barbarians or tribal factions. I'm taking command of the Arvasi and Darren is taking command of the Swabi. He's playing in Germany and I am playing in Iberia. So in this current battle, I am playing as the AI that Darren is fighting. Again, if you don't know, in a head-to-head, you take command of any battle your opponent chooses to fight. So, you know, whenever Darren comes up against the AI, I can play as their army and try and do as much damage as physically possible and try and set him back. Because if I can defeat him in a battle or something, that's going to drastically remove the amount of power that he has. So even though I'm over in Iberia and he's in Germany, I can still dramatically affect how his campaign goes by winning and doing damage and killing leaders and yeah, just trying to win these engagements. So in today's battle we do have a engagement from his point of view. He is trying to expand against the other tribes in Germany right now, and I am here to stop him. He has managed to corner one of their armies, or two of the armies. This is a 40-stack army in one of the forts, so I have a nice fort to kind of anchor my army, and then over on the left-hand side, I kind of have my outer force that I couldn't really keep everyone inside. So, you know, my plan is to really try and encourage his army round so that he doesn't put as much pressure on the main part of the fort itself. And stuff like this is just so much fun because, you know, I don't really have any super big ties to this faction, but I obviously want to try my best to win because, you know, I need to slow Darren up wherever I can in this campaign. He obviously, you know, will have, you know, because I'm being given the AI's army, I don't generally get to choose what I have right at all. You know, I'm just whatever I have, and I have to make the best out of that situation. So unfortunately, you know, the majority of the battles you'll see is, you know, there's a chance I definitely could win, and this battle goes down to the wire. But for the most part, my army is never normally going to be as good as the players, just because, you know, the players always going to try their best to put themselves in a situation. You know, I do it, Darren does it. You always, you know, want to make sure that you have the upper hand, because at the end of the day, you know, fighting an actual player is massively different to fighting the AI. And, you know, a lot of the battles where you'd be like, oh, that's easy against the AI, where they just funneled, like, if we were fighting the AI right now, they would just funnel all their men through this one choke point and that'd be it, you know, and you just shoot them and that. But, you know, Darren's going to be smarter than that, I'm going to be smarter than that, and that just makes these campaigns so much fun because you can never just rely on the AI doing crazy stuff. So quickly, as Darren is approaching, because it's heavy blizzard right now, and if you don't know in Divide Et Impera, this slows up your army massively. So yeah, his army's taking a long time to form up and come and attack me, which is really good for me because we do play on a 40-minute battle and siege timer, which kind of adds urgency to the battle. You kind of have to be quick about it because you only have 40 minutes. You can't even really see the timer. I hope they change this in a patch. I might bring this up to Cam or something, one of the lead mod designers, because you can't see the timer with the Barbarian UI. But yeah, that means that, you know, both, like, all the time you have an opportunity of winning through the timer, which I think just adds more excitement to the battle itself. So yeah, the majority of my infantry is going to be pretty trash. It's going to be weak German, like, militia infantry. I do have some standout infantry though. I have 2 units of these German pikes, which really come into play. I have some okay-ish archers, and I have some kind of, again, okay-ish infantry. I don't really have any high-quality units in my roster. I think these guys are my good swordsmen as well. But besides these guys, you'll see how quickly my men do decide to rout on my front line. At least my weaker units decide to rout. Because, you know, we are just playing the early game, and the AI can't produce super OP units this early on, you know. So, yeah, it makes it very interesting. And again, like as I said, me and Republic of Play, neither of us have played barbarians or tribal factions before. So, you know, with Hellenic factions and Romans and even like Eastern factions and Carthage included, I kind of know how long a unit can hold, how long a unit will stay alive for. You know, I can really like tell that. But with tribal factions, I honestly can't, so it's kind of like a learning experience, which is kind of good to fight these battles, because I can kind of see what Darren's army is capable of doing, and I can see what kind of my similar units can do as well. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned as well, as the battle does get kicked off with this missile off right now. We stream this every Wednesday at 4 PM BST, so make sure to tune in. It's very easy, you can just Google the time to your time zone. I stream it on YouTube. I also have 2 of the VODs up right now as well, which you can check out. We stream for about 4 hours, so if you can't watch the whole live stream live, you can always check it out later. I highly recommend you check out, because we have some epic battles, and things are only going to get better and better, so it is 100% worth checking out. I highly recommend it. Especially when you get battles like this where, you know, the snow is beating down. We've got huge engagements, battles are flying in. It's, really exciting. So one of the things I definitely have learned pretty quickly about Darren's German army is that his hunters, these guys, are really deadly. The amazing thing about them is they can shoot while staying hidden. So you can kind of enact some really amazing ambushes. And they do a ton of damage, because a lot of the early tier barbarian units are going to be lightly armored, so these archers just rack up a crazy amount of damage. Luckily for me, playing in Iberia, I get access to Balearic Slingers, which will be very interesting, because I'll have Balearic Slingers and he'll have like really good German longbows. So yeah, again, it makes us some really exciting gameplay, just having these two similar but really different factions. But right now, as you can see, I am getting smashed by his archers. I can't even see half of the archers that are standing right here. So yeah, he's demolishing my missile line. But, again, at this point, he's taken so long to get over here. I'm honestly just playing for time. You know, like, he's taken his time. He has like 20 minutes left in a battle or something to take this fortress. And I still have a majority of my army. So at this point, I'm like, yeah, you wasted half. We didn't waste, but you used half your time to get over here. So now I'm just going to try and slow you up for as long as possible and try my best to, win by timer. If you do win by timer, you don't lose your army. You just retreat from the battle. And it's basically like you have to then do that again. The AI has opportunities to build mercenaries and stuff on the campaign map. So it is a very good idea to try, even if you can just grab a victory by the time running out, that's still really useful. Over here as well, some dumbass stuff happens. The walls blow up and destroy this entire unit. Good old Rome 2 for you. I don't know why this is a thing, but yeah, this will destroy and it will basically kill my entire unit. Yeah, it kills like 100 men. It's so dumb. But still, Darren is doing a good job at opening up the entire fort line, trying to make it so that he can attack from multiple directions, because you can basically completely nullify the fort if you use enough infantry, because I think even normal infantry can burn down this entire wall as well. So again, I'm going to be continuing to move up more of my infantry. Darren's going to start pushing in now with some of his front line. And we do share a fair amount of similar units. He definitely has a majority, like he definitely has the quality advantage for sure. But pushing up. Oh yeah, and something as well he mentioned in one of the live streams as well is that the early German settlements don't actually get access to cavalry. So, he can't really utilize his horses to kind of, destroy me out here. So that's, again, another pretty good advantage that I do have. Got some javelin infantry throwing out, then again trying to open up some of his front line. Because, again, I'm just trying to stay alive for as long as possible in this battle. But I'm going to receive another returning fire, along with a lot of other missile fire coming in. It's becoming pretty brutal. And now Darren's going to start pushing in. Archer fire hammering me. The towers now go down as well, which is going to massively hinder me at, defending my position. His archers are routing my men as well. And losing these guys is really pretty brutal, but there's nowhere really to put them. Luckily, I'm managing to keep my pikemen in the back, which is nice. I've also set up a small ambush. So again, another amazing thing in Divide Et Impera is that you can hide units really effectively. Unless you have a clean line of sight, you can hide units and they'll stay hidden. In for example, a shrubbery, you can basically keep a unit hidden in a forest until you're literally like 2 meters out from it, and then you can charge out and cause some issues. So that's going to, again, make these battles so exciting, because we're going to be ambushing left, right, and center, not only on the campaign map, but in battle as well. We're going to be laying traps and trying to use our guerrilla deployment and other stuff to just make it really exciting. So as you can see, the devastating charge there, just from missile fire, just from charging in, one of my spear units is basically broken at half strength. I am luckily going to be able to push one of his men back though, so he's kind of suffering from the same morale issues that I am. But I'm going to have to go and reinforce this. One of my best units is swords, which is nice. But yeah, you can see how fickle our units are when it does come to breaking. If you put enough missile fire and you put enough javelins into that unit, they'll break very, very quickly. Obviously though, as we do continue to level up and get better units, and morale and stuff will be much more likely to stick around. But you know, these early game units are pretty brutal. And just like that again, you know, enough missile fire, enough pre-planning, and then all of a sudden he just came through, smashed through that unit really effectively. And it was perfect timing for him. He set that up so well. He basically brought up a unit of infantry, the wall broke down, he pushed his unit through, and because this unit was under so much missile fire, it then routed, you know, and then now he can just pour through. Unfortunately, he doesn't have anything else supporting it right now, which is going to leave this unit kind of vulnerable, and I'm going to be trying to take advantage of that by surrounding it from multiple directions. I'm kind of almost letting him come in to my position, because now I can push my pikes up. I can also throw infantry round the side of here and use this area to my advantage. And until he sends more men to block this, I can quite effectively take it on. In the main part of the settlement though, I am taking no ground. Darren is the one pushing me back. And yeah, he's really effectively just throwing in his weight of numbers here to break my position. And my morale isn't doing great. I do manage to get my general up though and pop a rally, which is going to keep my men around for a little bit. But these fire arrows are really hurting me from Darren's point of view. And yeah, more of a wall is breaking as well. You can see infantry just pouring through any chance he gets. I have been lucky though and got my pikemen engaged, and it's quite difficult to tell what pikemen are where in Divide Et Impera, because they basically just have a spear picture on them. So you don't actually know that they are a pike unit, which obviously works out very effectively in my favour, because normally with pike units you'll just run away from them until they get out of position and just shoot them. So right now I'm being pretty effective, and they do just give me so much in this battle. They allow me to hold the lines really effectively, but as you can see, Darren has managed to break through very effectively in the centre, pushing my men back, and now my pikemen are going to have to be the ones holding this, even though they're facing the wrong direction. And my general is also getting hammered. Oh my god, he could have routed this pike. He doesn't route this pike unit here, luckily, but he definitely could have. That's pretty scary. But luckily my general comes in and I guess steadies the ship. I also decided to start bringing more men back into the city centre because I see him breaking through and he's going to go flying through right there. But again, it kind of works to my advantage right here because he's going to push through this gap, but I can bring men back from this engagement. I have a unit here and I have more units right here as well. I spring my trap over here, but I don't want to commit because I see he has more reinforcements, so I don't want to fully commit this little trap I sprung from the woods. So now I'm just kind of using them as a reserve force more than anything else. Yeah, you can see like I'm kind of turning this around, throwing some javelins in, my pikes are reforming, and all of a sudden he went from enveloping me to me enveloping him. And I do actually also manage to break more of the soldiers over here with the medium infantry. He does start to push though on my center, and again, this is a really weak part of my formation. These spearmen suck, they really do, especially after being hammered by missile fire. So you can see he's just crushing in against me. All my archers are fleeing, and hopefully that'll keep his general a bit busy. But I also am repelling him. Like, he has very similar units to me, just a handful of like better ones. So, you know, where I'm breaking, he is also breaking as well. And I have managed to kind of steady the ship somewhat in the fort itself. I've managed to, you know, break a few of his units. My pikemen, I think Darren has finally realized about the pikemen here, so he's going to pull them back. But, you know, they've kind of done their job. They've held the line for a decent amount of time. And his timer is running out, so he is very much having to think about, oh my god, am I going to run out of time here? I need to kind of be risky so that I can win this battle, because if I'm not risky, if I don't really commit stuff, then I'm just going to run out of time and lose the battle anyway, regardless of whether I, you know, have more men or whatever. So you can see, again, I'm trying to pull back more men here, trying to fall back to the fort. That was always my plan, was to fall back to the fort, but just try and keep them outside of it as long as physically possible. So you can see a pretty nice victory here. These guys are going to be chilling. Again, I've managed to route 2 more units there, which is huge. And realistically, he doesn't have that much left. A lot of these archers are going to be running low on ammunition. So he's going to have to commit them into infantry. And he only has kind of his more elite infantry back here. A unit of phalanx spears, which look amazing, by the way. You know, some of these weak-ass spears that I've got as well. And then also, you know, he's got some heavier infantry as well. Medium shock infantry, which he is going to start committing in. So, you know, he does have a very effective setup. And again, I'm just going to try and fall back a little bit. Over here, though, he is overwhelming me with numbers. Even my strongest unit, which is this unit of swords right here, the Germanic warriors, even they're starting to get overrun by the sheer numbers he is throwing at me right now. And I think it's only a matter of time until this falls. But is it going to be enough time? That's the question. Oh, yeah, I also had this unit as well of heavy melee infantry as well. These guys are pretty good. They're fighting in. So they're actually doing a pretty good job of winning there. And I'm going to try my best to push off. But I know this center is going to break very soon. And then he's bringing up lots more reinforcements as well. And then we obviously also have this engagement over here as well. But I'm kind of okay, you know. I don't really want to commit here. The tower's shooting away at him. So I've got that on my side. As well as that, you know, I'm playing for time. So I want to try and be as slow as possible. And he's just committing more and more men into the fight. But so am I, you know. I've popped my last rally now to try and keep my soldiers around. I think I have one more Inspire. And that's all my general abilities. And you guys have seen how effective morale things have been, right? So, you know, it's definitely going to be a close battle. Especially as the timer is ticking away. Again, you can't see it, but trust me when I'm saying Darren does not have much time left. So he's going to go for one last big push everywhere. He's going to engage me right here. He did try to get his unit inside the fort, but that kind of worked in my favor. Because remember, I could then pounce on his unit from multiple directions. I could even pull a unit off here and try and envelop him. So I've kind of almost trapped this one unit and engaged this one. And I've got a unit coming back from routing as well, or a handful of coming back from routing, which has been really useful. And the center is pretty good. My pikemen are doing their job. I've got a unit of pikemen engaged over here. Have I got both my pikes here? Oh, I have got both my pikes here. That was a big mistake from my part. One looks like it's about to break, though. I should not have done that. I definitely... No, I don't. No, I don't. My other unit of pikes is here as well, yeah. So that's good, you know. I've got pikes engaged on both my major points. The center is kind of the place Darren needs to break through. I have no pikes there. I have weaker infantry, so this is definitely a position to break through. And look at that again. You know, this entire flank has now broken. He's got cavalry killing my supporting archers. So at this point, I'm just fleeing back. I'm trying to get this unit of heavy infantry out of there before he pushes through. And my other units are starting to break, so the morale is really starting to come into play. But as long as my general is there, as long as I can... I think maybe I just use my last Inspire. Yeah, I use my last Inspire as well. You know, my army is hanging on by a thread, but the time is ticking down. And Darren is losing men left, right, and center. You know, he is struggling with the same morale issues that I am. So, you know, I mean, he does have a few better quality units, but for the most part, our armies are very similar. So his army could quite easily matter out as much as mine could. My general is getting very low, though, and just about manages to come in. I think I have to throw him in because he's being shot at right now by the last couple missiles. So I decided just to commit him in, and I need to sturdy this, because if Darren can break his way through this center, he can then just use his numbers, regardless of whether they're archers, swordsmen, pikemen, spears, whatever. He can just use them to envelop them, and with how poor our morale is, that's going to really affect the overall stats of our soldiers. Really, really is. So you can see my general moving in there. He's really low. If he breaks, the battle is over. Like, I had another rally left. That's huge. So I have one last rally right there, which does bring a few soldiers back. He is also pounding my position right here, and I only have a unit of medium spears holding. And I'm also lucky that Darren, in the heat of a battle, didn't burn down the rest of these. He could have used his infantry to burn all this down and use his numbers to pour into the settlement. So I got kind of lucky there that in the heat of battle, he forgot about it, that you could do that. You know, it happens, obviously, right? I do it all the time. I make mistakes. But I think if he would have realised that, he could have burnt down this entire wall and then destroyed me. And the battle wouldn't have been as close as it was. He is now committing more men round here, but I'm so close to breaking these 2 units. I've managed to send a unit of archers, and just 1 light unit of archers could be huge. If I could free up another 4 units of my men, I could bring them back inside of the city. You can see, look at this! Look at this morale! He's having to commit his archers, which is just causing a catastrophic failure in his formation, and a mass rout is ensuing. Look at this! And if I can rout this flank, I can bring some more units back in. Over here, he's not making a lot of progress, and his morale is dropping. My general is low, of course, but so is his. So I'm bringing more infantry over to try and study this, because I need this unit to hold right. It's both these. If this breaks, it's over for me. But he's going to come flying back in with more men. I just need this to break before he can reinforce with it. But my pikemen are doing God's work right now. They really are. Having to throw in my general once again. He is on 73 men. So he's still pretty healthy, but under half strength. So there is a big risk that he might go down in this battle. And oh my god, at this point I'm like, I see this routing and I'm like, oh my god, I've got 3 more units spare. The victory is within my grasp. Not necessarily the timer, but victory itself. I just need my men to hold for as long as possible, because my pikes can start doing some crazy damage. There's nothing in the center anymore, is there? There's just some archers. If I can break these 2 units right now, which I feel like I quite easily can with my pikes, but I can just do so much damage. His right flank is breaking. I can reform to just defend this, and victory is this close right now. But my center is breaking. My general is down to 69 men. The cursed number. But maybe I can break these guys and push down. My pikemen are committed in here, trying to break them. I'm throwing up some more spearmen with the hopes that I can just try and break this section. And bam, my general dies. He died with like 60 men left. He breaks as well. He died before then, but he did just break. And that's gonna be it. Unfortunately, Darren's superior men are going to come in and clean this one up. With my general breaking, this is going to go down, allowing him to bring more men in, and that's going to be the battle, unfortunately. Darren wins by the skin of his teeth. I honestly feel like if my general was still alive, I could have routed this with my pikes. These guys would have routed as well due to pikes. It was archers on pikes, so the pikes would have slaughtered them. I could have cleared this up. Even though he is bringing more men round, I think I would have had enough time to then turn it around. And yeah, the battle was so close. Like, that was crazy. And all it came down to was my general, but I had to commit my general, because if I didn't, he would have broken through the center, so I needed a decent unit to hold that. So that engagement was just crazy close, especially looking back on it as well. Darren became, like, a lot of these units are green now from, like, coming back from routing, but they were honestly so close to breaking. If I could have just won that center, I think I would have mass routed everything. So, man, what a crazy battle. I was in, a couple inches of setting Darren back tremendously. This would have given the AI time to replenish, to build more men, and also to get mercenaries as well. And maybe even sally out, and we could have fought another battle to then kill his armies as the AI. But, eventually, I did kill 3,000, so that's 3,000 less population he has to build up and stuff like that. But, after this battle, he just auto-resolved the remnants and took the town, so he managed to clear them up. So it became very close, but unfortunately, no victory for me. And you can see these are just one of the armies. There was another army on either side. You can see his cavalry huge. I had none. His archers, yeah, them hunters are just amazing. They're going to be something I have to worry about for sure. And over on my side, none of this army really doing too well besides these relatively good spears. But everyone else, like these guys, getting slaughtered. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that battle. If you want to see more of these head-to-head engagements, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below. Let me know that you want to keep on seeing them. Make sure you tune in to the live stream every Wednesday at 4 PM BST, and I'll see you guys next time.